All right. Yeah, girl. Yo, yo, yo. There we go. What it do, ladies and gents? Last minute, I was on my Chromebook, and last minute, I was able to get my new desktop to work. So, or my new monitor to work. If you guys remember, last time it wasn't working, or I couldn't connect it, got it. And so, before we step into the ceremony, which is not a ceremony, this new moon Aquarius, I'm going to manifest my second house Gemini and tell you a story. I'm going to channel a story. So this is a channeled story narrative, right? And I didn't come into this ceremony. I just came up with the idea now to channel this because there was no ceremony. I just wanted to talk to you about, let's welcome Azrael Vicious Tarot to the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe. I just wanted to tell you about the cycle. And thank you for the heads up, Patrick. And outside of that, I just got now the drive to channel this. So if you're here, the North Node is within 3 degrees orb of my sun. It's 17. My sun is 20. If I get 300 likes, by the way, I will freestyle for y'all. Other than that, we also see my sun is 20 degrees Gemini, the North Node 17. My moon is 23 cap. My Saturn is 24 cap. And Pluto is 25 transiting cap. So I like to give reference to these aspects so you understand the cause-effect relationship between me as a focal point, who you're engaging with, and the energy that you're in dealing with. For those of you who are astrologers who know what I just said means, buckle your seats, y'all, because now we're in the 10th. We're in Aquarius. Thank you guys for riding with me, for joining me. I'm going to share once again a channeled story. I just came up with the idea right now, and I'm just going to channel a story that hopefully resonates with you or not. Let's welcome Allison Carmela Marsh Peluso to the Ascension Path. Woo! So before I go in and talk about the transits and then share the channel story, I want to share you my experience with this monitor because I feel like there's a message in it for you. So there were 3 cords I was given. I was given the HDMI cord. I was given the HDMI cord, and I was given this. I specifically didn't want to touch either. I only had the HDMI, right? I didn't want to touch this because I wanted it to be pristine and wrapped. And then there was a 3rd cord, I think a game cord or whatnot. I didn't even want to touch. I just wanted to use this HDMI. I plug in the HDMI, okay, nothing. Shit wants to tell me no signal. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I use the HDMI cord from my, what is that called? Whatever that TV is whatever the TV is that you could, Roku, from the Roku TV. So I use the Roku TV, right? And I use the HDMI from the Roku TV. I blame Mercury. It's Mercury. I use the HDMI from the Roku TV. Mercury retrograde must be like, but it's not me though. But what if it's never Mercury? And then Mercury's like, what is that? So I used the HDMI from the Roku TV, plugged it in, no signal. Then I was like, okay, well, I just used the Roku TV, the the computer clearly works because I've been using the Roku TV. So I plugged the HDMI cable, or the other one, the one that you have to twist the knob, no connection. Oh, I had no idea Alyssa's going live. Shout out to Alyssa Sharp, one of the OGs. Shout out to her. Once again, like I was actually supposed to go live early. I just didn't come back on time. But yeah, the other cord didn't work. And so I got the Roku TV and plugged it back in the computer just to troubleshoot, right? Okay, let me make sure that it's nothing crazy. And then the Roku TV didn't connect with the original HDMI cord. And that's when I knew fucking Mercury retrograde. But let me not just blame Mercury. So the original setup that I had with my HDMI cord and the Roku TV suddenly is not working. All right. Then I used my old computer you see here, and the monitor, I found out the monitor's broken because I wanted to see if I could connect it. So now I'm just like, okay, now the first cord didn't work, the second cord didn't work. And so I wanted to use the second cord to connect the new monitor that you're watching me on right now with this old computer. The computer that broke, that I had to get this new desktop, okay? So it doesn't have HDMI cord. Ooh, anyone evil eye you is automatically getting clapped back. They don't even know. Ooh. And then the second cord doesn't fit. So I didn't even try the second cord yet, actually, but I don't think it really fit. Either way, I saw a port for the third cord, which I wasn't going to use because I was like, I don't need it. And so I plug in the third cord, and then I turn on the computer and it's black. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's not going to work. And then it works. And then my reaction, I swear to God, is, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. And then I had to calm myself down because it's like, I shouldn't be this excited just to turn on a computer. And then that's when I realized, okay, the monitor works. And so I took that third cord, plugged it in there. I wasn't even expecting anything. Boom! I was like, oh, yeah, baby. Oh yeah, it was a reaction. It just came out. So I felt like I had to share that message because I used the first cord I was used to. The last cord worked. So I was like, let me just use the same cord, same port. Nah. The second cord represented the old method. The second cord, if you think about, the second cord was this. Oh, shit. And this second cord is the old way things used to be done, the traditional way. The HDMI is an advanced way. So I didn't want to use this one because I wanted to use the HDMI cord. This was a backup. This didn't work for me. Or connect, right? But the third one that I did not expect to use worked. So I hope that speaks to you. I hope it resonates. It doesn't have to really mean anything, but I just felt the need to share that. You know, it is what it is. But we might ask Peace Dealer, why is this important? Yo, especially during retrogrades. This is just at this point a trope or some kind of whatever. Anyway, y'all stay tuned. Okay, I have here in my hands I think I just doxed myself again. But I have here I totally just doxed myself. I have here in my hands 2 music recording agreement, music label record contracts. After this live, this new moon's in my 10th house in Aquarius. After this live, your boy is signing himself. I'm getting signed today, y'all. So thank y'all. I know there's a few artists who are you know, in this chat, Supernatural Music Group LLC will be signing you to or approaching you with manager contracts. I need to get my bread up. But yeah, just know we moving. And I'm releasing the first release of the label is Weirdo, dropping tonight, shortly soon. I put out the Aries EP and decided to postpone the monthly release 2021. So stay tuned. May, we're going to continue with the Taurus EP. Yo, I got some bangers, boy. Yo, if y'all like that Aries EP, that Taurus EP, no. All right, I'm gonna feature Chris on the Leo EP, but that Taurus EP, boy. I got features from King Mitchell, exclusive. I got a pending track featuring with Chad. Yo, I got a track that has been recorded with the Big Body High Priestess, son. Hey, when I tell you she murdered that joint, son, yo, in fact, if I get 300 likes instead of a freestyle, I'm gonna leak that track. It's never before her. If y'all want to hear that track with me and the Big Body Benz, let's get to 300. When I tell you she murdered that shit, boy, ooh. So that Taurus EP, man, we gonna keep it moving. We gonna keep y'all ain't even the ooh. If y'all have heard Occupation, that's the joint with me and King Mitchell. But I might have to leak the ooh, because she came through and bodied that joint. I'm gonna just be honest. She bodied that joint. So yeah, great stuff in the works. Let me see if I can. There we go. Random files. Interesting. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Oh, okay. Hey, Roy. So, welcome to the new narrative of a lifetime that's getting ready to effectively move the narrative further. This is actually really fortunate because this is a very calm period coming into Aries where we're just processing all the new knowledge and information we've come into. And so it's finna go in. Thank you guys for your patience. All right. So you know, hold on. She a full grown bitch. We gonna need that 300 likes. That was just a sneak peek, y'all. That was just to let you know what time it is. Okay. Welcome to the new moon in Aquarius ceremony. Oh yeah. The new narrative. If we think that this life is a play that is produced by Taurus, believe it or not, and directed by Capricorn, well, the lead role, especially of this new age of Aquarius, is Leo. Okay. And the narrator of the script is Aquarius. So if we think about the socio-cultural collective element in air of Aquarius, you're looking at different social narratives, social cultural norms having to connect in one collective conscious. And you see, of course, the overarching nature of the combined mind expressed through collectives of people, through narratives. And this is what clashes with individuals who may not always conform to said narratives. I'm breaking down right now in an aspect that has an infinite number of, aspects where you have individuals who conform in narrative, who don't conform in narrative, who sometimes conform. But everything that I'm saying, especially in these collective energies, you want to really listen to me conceptually. When we're in Virgo season, we could talk literally, but Pisces season, we want to be more abstract. Aquarius season, we want to be conceptual. Plato speaks of the world of concepts, and Nikola Tesla speaks of the source of knowledge in all the universe that you can think of in terms of frequency and vibrations. And this pertains to that Aquarian source of the mind, the universal mind, the ruler of Aquarius right now, where this new moon stellium is fourth house to this energy in Taurus. So first of all, right off the bat, a lot of the psychic vibrational warfare that you've been going through is definitively done. Clap for yourself. Clap for yourself, okay? Because personally, not only are you stepping into a turnaround from this, a lot of that vibrational warfare was cataloged and experienced through the Capricorn energy. And so that was the Capricorn front of the war. Damian Diaz, I will definitely contact you. You're definitely coming into now the counterattack. Everything that really maintained this vibrational warfare was the response of your own character in relation to whatever was projected at you, especially where other people make their problem your problem as far as the reaction or response that they may feel about how you identify or express yourself, which, has nothing to do with you. How people react to your understanding of yourself has nothing to do with you. A lot of you got caught up, like a lot of you are going through a lot of personifications and archetypes because in this awakening process, it's like wearing clothes to understand yourself more. And some of you attach too much to that process. Some of you are very loose with the process. And this is now going to complete this with this new moon cycle and give you knowledge in Aquarius and understanding. That being said, you now are going to feel even more so deeper. It's like this is the turning point. Whereas before you were feeling a lot of pressure and maybe doubt because you were the only one in your corner. And now with experience, evidence, proof that you didn't have to prove anything, but your own experience showing that you're not as alone as you think and that the pressure you're feeling is not as authentic as it seems. Now we're at the turning point where this energy is not that serious to you anymore, but the pressure that's still being expressed is being done by more insecure people. So all the vibrational war and pressure you've been feeling is the consequence of you dealing with incredibly insecure individuals. And before, during the Capricorn transit, there was a whole lot of boundary drawing and a whole lot of really maintaining integrity in your character. Now we've completed that. So it doesn't mean the warfare is going to leave, but now that you've evolved so much, you're going to noticeably feel, you know it now. You know the nature of it now. Whereas before you were still coming into an understanding. Now you know the nature of it. Now you know yourself. Now you know you're dealing with incredibly insecure puppets that channel collective vibrations, which are triggered by you, and or work in tandem with other collective vibrations to limit you. And so your decision to allow it to limit you is not their fault, it's your fault. And you're going to step into Aries season so much freedom. The Pluto square will be a guilt and shame matrix that will have you want to feel shame for being real. Whoop your dick out and tell whatever force that is, inferring that directly or indirectly to suck it. This applies doubly if you're a woman. Whoop your dick out and tell them to suck it, especially if they're a man. Tell that man to suck your dick, okay? Because this is so paramount with the new moon cycle sextiling Chiron and Aries that's getting ready to champion through the manifestation of your fantasies and dreams in Neptune and Pisces, the authentic, vulnerable expression of the true nature of you. This is why I'm dropping weirdo, other than it being a new moon. So you're getting ready to ride out the higher aspect of your knowledge. And this is going to evoke a more extreme reaction from influences and individuals who can tell WWE suck it, yes. Who can tell who can tell accordingly that their projections aren't phasing you. And listen, the whole notion of an underground society or coven or Facebook group that's hidden or individual that is skilled in black magic against you is a real thing. You may think about that and think that it's worse than it is, but you're forgetting how powerful you are. You're awakening to the concept of you being able to take on hundreds of negatively ruled people, because you may have forgotten that just you being authentic is a supreme being unto itself. And people who operate and act out of integrity diminish their power and strength, even if things work out fast for them. So I will always say, for those of you who ask, how do I protect against song drops are good on new or full moons? That's a really good question. It really just depends on the transits. I prefer new moons because they're new cycles. You feel me? But great question. So, this is very, very, very much so getting you ready to transcend a lot of that BS. And you're going to see even further more true colors. It's just you're going to be so detached and removed from it. You want to take that as a testament of how grown how much you've grown. Okay. And this new moon cycle is involving Jupiter. It's involving the conjunction with it to Venus. This is directly squaring Mars and Uranus, which is also squaring Saturn. So during this new moon cycle, you're unexpectedly going to establish a new relationship / relationships, whether they're friendships, whether they're business partnerships, whether they're romantic, whether they're career oriented, whether they're just not just one person. This is getting ready to segue coming into July, unconventional dynamics that may also form with no one knowing. A lot of people, you may get with someone and not let anybody know you're even together until July. A lot of on the hush hush relationships, mainly because both of you are still on trial period with each other until you cut that bullshit out and actually surrender to each other. Oh, so the reason and in the nature of these connections is both of you know right off the jump that you're each other's person. Even if you're not like messing with each other, you still know the responsibility you have with each other. So it's gonna start. You're not gonna have that getting to know each other phase. This I saw this. I saw this post a Leo woman made, and it's significant that her son's in Leo because the aqua energy in her seventh correlates this. And the meme she posted said or shared was, "We're no longer doing the dating. We're no longer doing the talking phase. We're either dating or I'm single." That's the energy right now. Like we were talking to people this last decade. Like we grown. We grown. So like what's popping? Are we doing this or not? Nah, all right, peace out. Peace out. Because listen, you are so unique. Uranus and Taurus is carving out your own unique value. Gone are the days and old constructs where, oh, people are cooler than other people. Like that's old world bullshit. That's elitist classes bullshit to make up for insecurities and bullshit. Okay. So it's like one person's trash is another person's treasure, and you ain't trash. So like one person's inability to see your worth is enabling billions of other people to invest in you. A literal gold mine. A literal gold mine. So this is not just the attitude you want to adopt. This is a reality that moving forward with the cycle, you will continue to see, because now we have completely cleared this Capricorn energy. It's only going to be the moon. The next planet that's going to make it to Pluto will be Venus retrograde and Mercury, and that's going to be at the end of the year. So we're going into hardcore individual innovation. And as the sun goes through its personal gauntlet, by the time this comes out in Leo, all your supernatural abilities that you have uploaded into your vessel from the Capricorn transit, by July and August, you're using it in a way where you can perform it. Okay, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer is going to break down fundamentally the construction of this. And let me backtrack a little bit, because you don't want to get into the habit of dumbing yourself down or explaining yourself to people. If people want to look at you weird, like you're saying something in a different language, or if people want to like have you explain more stuff, tell their dumbass to go learn the basics. Do their research first before they come to you with that bullshit. Okay. Because this passive aggressive subliminal way of how people interact, Chiron and Aries wants you to call it out. It's an evocation, an expression of character. We're not gonna entertain that bullshit. Okay. All right. Okay. So Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer is going to break down at a fundamental level relative to Saturn and Jupiter and Aquarius the basics of the knowledge of your supernatural abilities, supernatural power from Pluto, and abilities with Neptune and Pisces. We're here. We're here. What's the context of this? You have no choice. Like once we get to July and Saturn starts to retrograde and Jupiter starts to retrograde, this is the stage of Guild Wars where you already know who you're recruited to, but by this stage, you're reevaluating your status in the guild, whether you want to stay in the guild, whether you want to go to another guild, right? Whether you want to go to different groups that you're a part of and collectives and communities. 30 more likes and I'm licking the song. And so with that being said, you're definitely also having to integrate through Virgo season the unveiling, because when I said you awakened your superpowers, I was not talking about your abilities. I was just talking about the self-realized character that uses these abilities. You awaken that in the form of a circuit board. You charge that circuit board through Aquarius, and now Saturn in Aquarius for 2.5 years is programming the software on the circuit board. After this software is programmed, you're going to experience and update the firmware in 2023. It's a long process, and that's going to lead to 2030. 2023 is hilarious. So at this initial stage, you're not beta testing anymore, but now that we're programming new neural pathways with new ways to function our own physiology because we've awakened to a higher God aspect of who we are, we're manifesting that knowledge. Whereas before you were building this subatomic physiological response, the active air sign, masculine, expressive quality of Aquarius fixed is now going to unpack the actual utilization of this power. The mastery of the abilities is going to come middle of the decade. Once Jupiter goes in 2022 and when Saturn goes in mid 2023. This is really just uploading the initial level and knowledge of these abilities. I want to say that again. You're coming into the actual abilities. Finally, ultraviolet. It's a huge finally. And now I'm not capping. Comment a fire sign emoji if you follow me here, because you have had synchronicities. You're especially you Neptune and Capricorns. Like your own body is physiologically, intuitively being guided to express this. So we're no longer at the stage where it's like, do I have powers? Do I not? You know you have powers. It's just, how do I more control this? See, listen, a year ago, 2 years ago, we were at the what is my power? Because you didn't know who you were. We're not there anymore. We just crossed a huge line. Now we know an idea of what our abilities are. Now we've experienced it consciously and unconsciously. And many of you watching me have been before you even knew I existed, came in with the knowledge of certain abilities or skills, whether you're a tarot reader, intuitive. So we're not, this is not a muggle class, right? And muggle pertaining to someone who's not aware of their own abilities. We're all intermediate or advanced here. So now that we already know who we are, it's not even so much so that you're manifesting new abilities, because you've always had abilities. Manifesting the knowledge of what you've always been operating with. And this is crucial because you have been expressing supernatural abilities your whole life. The nature and level of civilization that we've been at. Let's welcome Brianna G to the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe. Woo! The conditioning that civilization, due to greedy elites and deceptive dark forces to dumb us down, has now enabled aspects of your abilities to always be expressed. But unless you were highly adept like a Pisces, Aquarius, or Sagittarius, you didn't even know you were doing abilities. Why? When most of you did it, your parents spanked you, told you not to do it. So as a kid, you didn't even have the cognitive understanding to know that you were even doing that, because it got beat out of you. It got shunned out of you, either at home or at school. Or realistically, based on the schooling you've received, the culture that you're in, thank you, Soul 7, the environment you are around, there's absolutely, oh shit, apparently I'm buffering. Thank you, Rachel. Are we good? Are we good? All right, so based on the environment you're around, based on the schooling you've come into, based on the nature of the vocabulary that you conjugate sentences with, the vernacular and the language that was given to you, that you didn't have a chance or choice to create something new because systems and structures around you forced you to speak one or two languages, even though your soul has a unique language that it couldn't really speak because no one else understood it. These all incorporate within a system. The system was carefully crafted and created so that you're in a box, okay? Do you know where your superpowers exist? Outside that fucking box. It's all outside that fucking box. It's in and out of it. And so you were craftily played so that anything that you did outside this box was not recognized, seen as weird, strange. Now, some of you are ascended masters. Some of you are geniuses and adepts. You're the black sheep. You are one of the few people in this world of NPCs and empty vessels who constantly saw outside the box, knew there was a world outside the box. Y'all are the way showers and the path builders, whatever, however to say that better, right? And so this new moon cycle is getting ready to unveil the knowledge of everything that you've been doing but didn't know how to perceive it. Okay, unless you're a Pisces, then you've been perceiving it, but you didn't have anyone to tell because they looked at you like you were crazy or they just didn't know, right? There is no box. Thank you, acid face melt. There is no box. The box doesn't exist. So there's a real illusion that and see, so a lot of your ascension symptoms are also psychological. Let's now talk about the Pluto semi-sextile. And listen. The best part about this new cycle is you're psychically aware too. So you're going to be feeling into the demonic reaction. Anytime you have an extreme reaction projected physically or energetically, is because there's a demon within that person. All right. And it's very objectively easy to tell, provided you're not crossing that individual's boundaries. The expression of yourself is free, like air that moves. So if someone is rubbed off by you, they're allowed to feel rubbed off, but it doesn't warrant an extreme reaction. Extreme reactions come when demons or demonic influences interface with your light, just like in exorcisms. And so this is now used to make an excuse. People will now lie and make fallacies about why they justify that extremeness. And, this is where you just want to be more of who you are and start to throw holy water on these bitches. When these people start to react, whenever anyone starts to react extremely to you, bring out your holy water and pour it in their face. I vanquish your bitch ass in the name of Jesus. Amen. So yeah, it's real out here. And once again, you're only getting stronger, while people who decide to operate less in integrity only get weaker by their own choice. So be very mindful of that, because not only are you creating this language to express and mark your own sovereignty, you're taking a part of a very revolutionary war to now be a sovereign nation to yourself. The last Pluto cycle, we have Pluto that's 12th house to the sun, right? And what that's doing is making obsolete the social cultural normalization versus your sovereignty. So a lot of you are coming into, through years of experience, and many of you have always known this, the deeper realization that every, and this is hard for a lot of people to accept because it's all you've known, but every single facet of the system and the wheels that are cogged concerning social normative derivative culture, much of which came from colonial era, is flawed and complete bullshit. You're starting to realize that the society you take part of and the norms and the rules have nothing to do with who you truly are. And that most of what you do as a part of it isn't because you want to, but because you have to. And now you're coming into the realization that that's actually no way to live. And you're going to have to make the decision to actively rebel against it, which is never easy, or to conform, which is easy, but comes at the sacrifice of your own authenticity. Thank you, Damien. this isn't anything to be afraid of. It's everything to be excited of, because you're coming into the tools to integrate this. So come Virgo season, right? After Leo, where we come into really expressing, because right now we're coming into the knowledge right now. All right. The moon in Pisces through Aries is the first rollout and activation of this new moon, where you're going to ground coming into moon in Taurus and stepping into Pisces season, the full knowledge of how to already start coming into the knowledge of everything you've been unconsciously doing. And so by the time we get into Leo season of 2021 this year, you're going to go from now, where square Mars, you're like, okay, oh, this is how I did this. This is how I'm doing that. Let me give you an example. I applied astrology to the playing of slot machines. And I took the picture of certain individuals who I know have powerful Jupiter contacts, and I realistically was able to see a chain of wins. Let me know if this is a coincidence to you. For example, um, you know, this is all tied to Jupiter. Jupiter was, of course, conjunct Venus around this time. So I would kind of like play the slot machine, which is all randomly generated before the slots actually show. The number has already been set for what the winning thing is. Everything's just for show. So cool. I was playing the slots. And so whenever I played the slots of Jupiter ruled people, and I was listening to a Jamie Foxx album who's ruled by Jupiter, whenever I like put the picture of individuals who have strong Jupiter contacts to me, boom, 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 I won. And when I didn't win as much. This isn't conclusive research. This is just initial experiment. Um, but it worked in a way where I could tell it wasn't a coincidence. The highest frequency where I won 6 in a row, I used a picture of my youngest sister whose sun is on my Jupiter in the second house. Coincidence? And I won, and I didn't win anything else in a row that much until I had that, right? And then I won the most money in dollar amount with the picture of a Leo woman who has Jupiter on her moon. I also won twice in a row in the bigger route with 2 Sagittariuses. So once again, this is inconclusive research. This could really just be a coincidence. It's not though. There's a thin correlation. I don't have the full knowledge. And that's where by the time we get to Virgo season, I got the research done because of the experience breaking down the science, okay? This year is about getting everything you know as an expertise down to a science. So by the time we get into Leo, whereas you're now stepping into starting to note the cause-effect relationship through Pisces of your abilities and what happens, by Leo season, you're performing it. There's still more to learn, but the basic first level, you're performing it. You know how to do it by heart, Leo. And then once this goes into Virgo season, you're integrating the fundamental dynamics of Aries, the spark of this power, based on the knowledge, Taurus, the manifestation in your body, based on the knowledge, Gemini, the abilities and techniques, based on the knowledge, the feeling Cancer, based on the knowledge, and then the heart that will integrate in Libra and in Virgo. And then in Libra, it's Guild Wars again. Boom. Oh yeah, article coming. And I'm gonna start doing case studies coming soon. Shout out to Institute of Temple Sciences as well. So other than that, I don't want to make this too much of a prediction prophecy thing. I'm gonna say the channel story, but now in Pisces season, you're manifesting the rest of this transit. And you don't have to take action until Aries, because we still need to come into the perspective where something out of left field will come to change your mind about everything. That's for sure, at least twice this Pisces season. So you really want to reflect coming in. Reflect on how you're a badass motherfucker. If you're 7 years old, 14 years old, 20 years old watching this, you're a BAMF. You're a badass. You're alive. If you're in your 60s, 50s, 80s, 40s, you're still alive. You're still alive. You may not be fully aware yet of the conspiracy to limit, control, and kill you. Population control is real. But these conspiracies are nothing to be afraid of because you're a sovereign being. It's everything to manage and be aware of. It's nothing to be paranoid about. It's just, something important to be aware of when you see. This new moon is also incorporating Pallas Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy. She's going to reveal the knowledge of patterns to be aware of. Make sure you check out the new episode of the podcast that I put out with Candace, as it'll come out shortly or very soon. And this is definitely set over the next 2 weeks. Just don't get the vaccine and y'all are good. This is definitely set over the next 2 weeks to take this new cycle in Aquarius of the knowledge that you're manifesting from Capricorn. And it's going to unpack, coming into Leo, the activation. New moons are a spark. Activation. Ooh, Chrissy had a rainbow land in her yard. This activation is activating what? Knowledge. Moon in Pisces, it's going to manifest an initial divine experience. It's going to be an activation, awakening experience for a lot of you. But the key is, the best way to see this transit is you're not stepping into anything you haven't already been doing. You're just going to awaken to it more. You're not manifesting this year new abilities. What you're manifesting this year is a definitive evolution of every single one of your superpowers. We already know our powers. Now you're coming into an evolved, advanced, innovative way to make your entire life obsolete by the time we come back around next year, to where now we move forward with this new mechanics and we're no longer doing the shit we did last decade. They're pushing crypto. They're starting to accept Bitcoin places. They're pushing this great reset hard. It was inevitable anyway. This is planned like 10 years ago or plus. But this is definitely now stepping into personally the true evolution of the individual. And this cycle is going to make you so proud, because you're going to realize how, in light of not being around that much influences that respect or honor you, how much you've sold yourself short and underestimated yourself. It's a specific theme with this new moon. The Uranus, that's fourth house to Saturn and to Aqua, is the understatement, the hidden genius that's going to be unearthed coming into Taurus, where now you understand more how genius you've always been and your place in this. Okay. Anything can crash. And there's at least 2 inevitable economic crashes. Expect more homeless people, expect a lot more poverty, but that economic crash will be followed by a renaissance in economy. And we will reach a place, I think more your kids will see this, where everybody's rich. Everybody's wealthy. We're coming into that. There might be a crash or 2 in between that. But, be very mindful of how happy people may boost things. Even though Bill Gates warned that the pandemic is going to be 10 times stronger because they're obviously remixing the virus and perhaps leaking more to the public. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? And the reason why it doesn't matter now is everything up until this point was still you loading the screen. Now this new moon is bringing a unique element to the table, and that's you. This is what's going to make the collective very spicy, because everyone all over the world is bringing a unique element to the table moving forward that can bring a lot of wild card elements to reality. And the North Node in Gemini is trining this energy to align a lot of this knowledge into truth over the next 5 years. Once again, a lot of y'all are dealing with some extremely insecure individuals, and these people are very prideful. So to you, you might have just had a disagreement, but to these people, you wounded their pride, because these people fully expected you to bow down or to acknowledge their superiority over you. And what you inadvertently did was made them feel more inferior, because not only did you not back down, you put them in their place. And instead of really now, taking stock of that, especially in dynamics where people aren't used to looking at you like that, instead of actually owning up to it, they're going to more extremely and aggressively make that your problem. And it's going to be hilarious. See, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Seeing people confirm more the reason why you behave the way you behave. So, congratulations. Like you're going to come into W and W and W because this Aquarius season is the manifestation of 6 months ago Leo, and then 6 months ago Virgo. You're reaping that. You're reaping that, and then moving forward Aries season again. So I really just want to congratulate you. For every one of you that are like, what do I do next? What do I do next? You're going to come into the knowledge the rest of this week and into next week. And everything that comes into Pisces season will give you a sneak peek of the next year, and you'll take action on that, Aries. So in conclusion, I'm not going to do a ceremony. I want to share a channeled story. Waking Gaia Oracle Messages, thank you so much. And I've never really done something like this before. I'm going to kind of like freestyle this channeling, but I came up with the idea to do this as soon as the live started. And so the first message of this with Chiron and Aries is you don't need to wait to start. You have everything you need. Okay, this is the biggest message with this new moon. So many of you and this is not your fault, by the way. This is mainly because we're all upgrading our perspective. So maybe you just weren't able to, but every single one of you watching this may feel like you don't have enough. And I don't mean so in the sense like, and I don't mean in a metaphorical sense, like be grateful for what you have. I mean, so factually, logically, and literally. Some of you may feel like you don't have enough resources or energy or whatever. And the reason for that is because of the way culture and the system has taught you to see success and has taught you to see what you have. This is the unconscious conditioning. The other aspect is you not really upgrading your senses until now. So you're going to look at everything that you have and realize that you manifested everything you want and had the whole time, and you have everything you need the whole time. This is misleading because a lot of you already know that consciously, but you're about to look at the inner MacGyver in you is going to look at. It's like you're going to look at this pen and be like, oh my gosh, this isn't a pen. This is a frequency transmitter. And then you'll take the pen apart and then you'll realize you now created something that you can buy at the store for like $500. But you're such a fucking genius. You learn how to make this pen into something, and that's really how there's a word for it, the resourcefulness, but and this is because you're going to tap into epiphany style, the higher aspect of utilizing your abilities. And so it's going to be a whole new adventure. It's going to have you look at everything that you ever thought you knew, and this is going to apply to relationships too. You're going to look at people who are in your life and you're going to know why you're there in your life. And you're going to look at their strengths and be like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we can do this together, blah, 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 blah. And you're getting ready this is the new cycle you've just started. Okay. And Sandy, that's it. That's it. For those of you who have no resources, you have no money to your name, your body is the most expensive resource you have. You have lungs, blood, brain, and a heart. You are already one of the most valuable beings. You don't even like human trafficking sells your organs. So you already like a walking Millie and beyond that. Like so this is going to really help you understand the value of your genius and like everything that you've always had. Even stuff you knew you had, you're going to learn how to use it in such a deeper way. So here's the channeled story. What's up, Big Empress Energy? Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. I want you to, during this new moon, the ceremony we're going to do is just set an intent. What intent do you see that you're ready to manifest in the next 6 months, but already start to see results for now, leading into the next 6 months? I want you to focus on that intention and project it at me. And I'm going to take in this energy and based on that, channel what I channel from your collective energy. And then after that, we're going to release the energy after the story. And once the broadcast releases, know that whatever you've intended is manifested and you're going to bring it and co-create it with the universe. But pictures go for a lot these days. So take some time to see your intent. This can't be it. Hold on. Wow. This is Revenge of the Karmic Twins, y'all. This is Revenge of the Karmic Twins. This is the story. This is the narrative. All right. So I'm going to channel an aspect of the new narrative. Let me know if this resonates. It doesn't have to, but this is full on Revenge of the Karmic Twins. Since both of you have reached a deeper state of self-realization, the light codes will now activate upon connecting with each other. So I'm going to use an archetype of two different people. You can identify with one of them, both of them, everyone involved. Just see this as a story, okay? So Revenge of the Karmic Twins. You're dealing, of course, with an individual who, one individual, where the karmic twin is a yin yang twin connection. It's similar to twin flames in that it's a yin yang twin, in that one person has majority yang, the other has majority yin, and they kind of interface with each other, right? But also, based on your archetype and who you represent, their archetype is a natural complement, okay? Both of you came into this lifetime with unfinished business. And your spirit guides, two of these people's spirit guides have constantly put each other in each other's awareness, but they never recognized each other because they didn't know who they were yet. One person knew who they were more, but didn't know how to understand the shadow aspects of themselves. In other words, it's literally Hancock, Shakira. So the feminine aspect of this, or the yang, I don't want to just say feminine because it doesn't have to apply to like a man or a woman, but the yang aspect of this, which is more, let's just say the yang aspect of this equation did not know how to understand their shadow, or did not know how to understand their counterpart or recognize their counterpart, because they didn't yet understand their shadow or their yin. And so the counterpart, who is the manifestation of their yin, could not connect with this person. They didn't know how to recognize them. The unconscious aspects of that person's yin that they hated about themselves, they projected to this person, and they did not like this person. And there was a lot of friction. until now recently, this person has come to love their yin. And that more yin, darker aspect has come to understand their yang and how to manage that to connect with this yang person. And this is just more metaphorical, just to give archetypes. So now we're seeing, of course, in the process of recognition, both counterparts saw aspects of each other in different people and had to experience different aspects of these relationships, different flavors to gain different experiences in preparation to reunite together. This reuniting is finishing unfinished business, which is going to reignite old beef. It's not even like a bad thing. Some of this beef is kind of fun because of the unique connection you both have to each other, which is unlike any other. I have a special message for relationships after this channel story. So now that we're here, Jupiter, Venus, and Aquarius is both of these archetypes coming back together. This archetype can represent the masculine and feminine within you. This could be a twin partner that you meet. This could be a friend. However, both of you are definitively coming into mutual recognition. You're going to be paired by fate. You're going to be at the right place at the right time, where if you already know this person, this is going to be brought up. If you're yet to meet this person, it's going to just happen naturally. Okay, look to the vertex if you have an idea of the chart. And so both of you, now that this person has recognized their yin and fallen in love with their darkness that they hated before, they're going to recognize that in their partner, and everything they hated about them, they're going to start to love about them and recognize, and vice versa. All the friction and differences that would have arisen between each other won't arise because they dealt with it within each other. Here's the next phase of it. This is now, so everything that I just spoke of was your life up until 2020. Now we're in the new moon Aquarius transit. This is where both of you connect, starting as soon as today, okay? And so what you're going to realize is the yang that this yin person had that couldn't really be understood and, wasn't really used right, this partner is going to look at that yang like, oh, shit, this is your light? Oh my God, you can do this with it. And you're going to realize, oh, damn, I didn't even know I can do that. Oh, shit. And you're going to appreciate what you have so much more because that yang part of this individual was for that partner. And then the yin part that was just, they couldn't understand, this other part is going to be like, holy crap, this happened. And they're going to understand, they're going to translate that for this person. And that person is going to feel so much more enriched because of the partner. This is the one of the first aspects of this energy, where you're going to kind of now pull energy out of each other. And then you have a tribe, they have a tribe. This is going to fuck with your mind. That person's circle of friends is actually this person's soulmate. And this person's circle of friends and group is actually this person's counterpart. So you were rounding up the relevant people that are significant to this person, and they were rounding up the relevant people that are significant to this person. And there's going to be that kind of crossing. And then now you're going to start to see an inversion. I'm not tying this specifically to a romantic context, mind you, because it doesn't have to be like a husband and wife thing, but it can be. It can be. For many of you, it will kind of play out like that. And this is where, once that is established, both of you will now begin the process of engaging as one unit and setting out on this. So this is the integration process happening out until Venus, Mars. All right. So it's going to start off as conflict. And then by the time it conjuncts, They're going to travel together. This is by July, both of you resolving your conflicts and coming together, reevaluating. Boom, I just broke down 2021. Now, especially for those of you born in the 70s, 80s, and beyond, many of you come from backgrounds with old sociocultural norms with which you're not allowed to date out your culture. You're not allowed to date certain type of people. And so many of you are being specifically paired with a specific archetype or specific individual, because even though both of you are good on your own, the relationship is not for both of you. The relationship will fulfill both of you, but it's the fulfillment you're meant to get is going to come from you. The fulfillment your partner is going to get, your partner is going to fulfill. The reason why both of you are together is to fulfill not the expectations, but to fulfill the karma for everyone else in your life. Because people are going to see you and this partner, and they're going to get it. They're going to antagonize it, and and since the antagonization isn't going to work, they're going to realize and be forced to accept stuff that they never would have accepted in relationships, because you are destined to show them, hey, you said that this would never work in a relationship. We made it work, bitch. Hey, you said we would never be together, Pat. We're still together, bitch. We outlasted your relationship. You said that this person and this person together can never work. We're better than all. We're realistically functioning better than all of you. And you don't even have to tell people this. They're going to see it. Whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship, romantically, whether it's a certain type of work condition, this is the purpose of this tribe, is the purpose of this relationship. So this is what this aqua energy is starting to bring. And for those of you, I'm feeling my heart. Some of you are feeling this at a heart level. For those of you who are feeling this because you feel like there's a Romeo and Juliet-esque, Eros and Psyche-esque connection where you're just so sad because you know that the people around you don't accept this relationship, or maybe, you know what I'm saying, the people who you love, you actually would want to, but they don't. This is why it has to be like this. You have to actually go through the backlash first, because you have to put these people in their place. They have to react to you extremely. They have to reject it, so that after they've rejected it, after they've counted it out, after it's lasted longer than they've ever expected, they realize it's no more than this way that will trickle down and be like, you know what, I was wrong about this and everything. And you know, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And this is where things can get very, you know what I'm saying, taboo. One person might be a tarot card reader, marrying a porn star, and someone who either it does or used to do porn. And like both of those together, maybe on that person's side, their family's religious. They don't like tarot readers. On the other side, they don't like that person used to do that. And I'm using a super extreme example, but you're dealing with aspects like this. Or it could be even super simple. One's an accountant and the other's a Cowboys fan. I know. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry for you, Cowboys. I'm just joking. But other than that, marrying a top 1% OnlyFans model. Cha-ching. Honey bun, you taking me out. You paying our bills, baby. Oh, shit. Yo, don't even play. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it's just quite the predicament. So I wanted to leave y'all with that. If the channeled story resonated with you, please comment a fire sign emoji. I'm taking you all out. I'm flying all y'all out. And other than that, congratulations, guys. We're moving forward as a guild, and we're moving forward renewed and strengthened. You are on the precipice of activating the higher level, because Jupiter is evolving you to the next level of supernatural ability. And the first thing that's going to occur after the self-realization experience is complete, because you've been having many experiences, the first thing you're going to wonder is, Who do I share this with? And that is the 2021 Aquarius, Jupiter, Saturn lesson. You are ready to take this self-realized, okay, you're moving from connecting with the soul tribe to remember who you are, to now remembering who you are and connecting to the soul tribe again, connecting back to the soul tribe. So the first thing you're going to wonder is, where's the tribe? And we're all getting ready to congregate. So we're all going to meet on this mountain. Okay, we're going to do one more ceremony. I want you to see, I want you to now hold in your mind's eye a vision of your greatest self. What is your higher self, your avatar self, right? I want you to now envision that we're all on a mountaintop or hill or convention room with our supernatural selves, partying and connecting and meeting, okay? We're going to do this connected, shared ritual. I want you to see it in your mind's eye. We're all collectively doing this, creating a Neptune and Pisces gate through imagination. So I want you to hear that, and I'm going to play the song with the big body high priestess. It's called Bruja Love. And then I'm going to end the broadcast, and congratulations. You made it. Okay, let's do this. Hey. Do, 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 do. She a full-grown bitch. Always calling her a bitch before she write their name down, throw that paper in the ditch. Now they life fucked up and they love to switch. Heartbroken, feeling numb again. She told us how she never fall in love again. And that was all true until the look at the clock and she saw the truth. Yeah, and the instant we caught eyes, that hit was the moment we instantly stopped time. This so good, she using this to a true connection device. She playing dumb like who knew. And I don't know as much as I wish I did, but I stay on point like a fucking Cherokee. See, I thought I was gonna get it in. Little did I know what I was getting in. She loves me so, she loves me not. She wants my soul, she wants my... And I know that this life here ain't really what it seems, cause I try to run away and she show up in my dreams. But love obsessive, it makes me fiend. She just the queen, still looking for a king. I'm thinking this and from above. Little did I know though, this that bruja I love. Make you fall in love with a bruja. You say you the love for the bruja. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my bruja. I heard magic like type, but can you see my bruja? Make you fall in love with a bruja. You say you the love for the bruja. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my bruja. I heard magic like type, but can you see my bruja? She walk like she can have anything she want on the spot. See, they really only hating cause she everything she not. Listen to ya, the swagger, old shoe, the strength of what cool, cross her once, that's your doom. Send me straight to your tune. And I'm like the movie, got me coming soon. Never knew she was the sun to my moon. That's the moment that I got inside her womb. She loves me so, she loves me not. She wants my soul, she wants my... And I know that this life here ain't really what it seems, cause I try to run away and she show up in my dreams. Her love obsessive, it makes me fiend. She just the queen, still looking for a king. I'm thinking this and from above. Little did I know though, this that bruja I love. Make you fall in love with a bruja. They say you first love with a bruja. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my bruja. I heard that you like but can you see my bruja? Make you fall in love with a bruja. They say you first love with a bruja. You get 3 wishes when you rub on my bruja. I heard that you like but can you see my bruja? Look at us in the flesh, whole flesh, the big body, high priestess. Listen by my rap, I've been here, the pop in the moon. You got hot in anyone, on the top. When you want to spot, you get it down. Something about the stars, and it got a little physical. My business is Mars and the whole sex ritual. Something to my lower lips to tell me what he want, like, don't push me. Y'all hear this?
taste the power in the young. You devour in the young. Help me manifest when you come. Give a testimony. Tell them how I made it abundance without the tricks I'm holding. How I fix it, this is broken. Ooh. Catch it when I throw it. Ooh. Stroking in this ocean, that is for the truth. Looking in your face, tell you what to do. I'ma leave it to the file in this room. But a quick question that I leave on you. Quick energy exchange when you need a boot.
Oh, yeah. My apologies for the lag, but that master version is gonna be lit. She murdered me on my own track, man. That was lit. That was lit. She ate. Thank you, Shay. She ate that. She ate that. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. I'm gonna drop the new video shortly. You could expect it latest within the hour. And reflection. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna make a Discord. Appreciate you. Other than that, y'all stay blessed as always. And as I end this broadcast, prepare to step into the higher knowledge of who you've always been.